Gentlemen, today we're showing you 10 ways to become the alpha and how to stop being a nice guy. And because we want you to move away from being Mr. Nice Guy to help your chances with a girl, we're also showing you one easily avoidable mistake most guys make when trying to be less of a nice guy that actually makes them come off like a jerk. So, here are 10 ways to be an alpha and ditch the nice guy persona for good, and the one mistake you don't want to make after you do it. Number 10. Answer small, ask big. Whether it's for here or to go, where do you want to eat, or even what's your favorite YouTube channel. If you get asked any question at all, always try to answer it with as few words as possible. The reason this is so helpful for nice guys is because it gets them in the habit of thinking about what they want, while also being more direct and less accommodating. Now, of course, you don't want to fall in the habit of only one-word answers. But the more you can avoid rambling explanations, the more in command you'll appear. Being in command equals alpha, and alpha equals not being a nice guy. And if you're looking for a pro tip to seriously boost the effectiveness of this one, try to contrast your short, concise answers with genuine, thoughtful, and kind-hearted questions. And watch as that nothing but a nice guy persona erodes away with the girls. Number 9. Kill your expectations. Starting down the road toward alphadom and away from nice guyhood begins by letting go of your expectations. Here's why. First, if you have no expectations, you're more likely to just relax and go with the flow. And what girl doesn't like that? But second, and more importantly, quieting your expectations is the key to letting yourself gain the real kind of confidence that guarantees you won't get stuck as the nice guy. The quick and dirty way to do this is pretty straightforward. Just find a girl you're attracted to and approach her with zero expectation of picking her up. Yep, that's right, and that's all. The reason this works is because more than they're actually nice guys are slaves to the expectation of getting a girl because of their niceness. So in letting go of any expectations, the need for niceness is neutralized, and they can practice confidently talking from the alpha side of their personality. Number 8. Go heavy. At its core, being a nice guy is due almost entirely to a fundamental lack of confidence. And what's one of the best, most absolutely practical ways to gain real confidence that girls can see? By lifting weight. Specifically, by lifting heavy weights. No, that doesn't mean you have to devote your life to pumping iron, or lift so heavy that you're going to hurt yourself. But the benefits of a smart lifting regimen just can't be understated. Not only will it do wonders for your health, appearance, and confidence, but by focusing on lifting heavy weights specifically, you'll boost your strength and baseline testosterone, which are two things that, when improved, are proven to make a guy look and feel more imposing without having to be aggressive or mean to anyone, which is the true hallmark of always being alpha and never a nice guy. Number 7. Don't always fold. As you probably know, being a pushover is a huge turnoff for women, and it's one of the main characteristics of the nice guy. You see, another thing that nice guys tend to do a lot that alpha types don't is to automatically side with the girl if there's ever a disagreement. Most of the time, disagreements revolve around little things, like choosing a movie or where to eat. But it's precisely the process of always making small concessions that plants the seeds of becoming nothing but a pushover who's easy to get along with. So, what should you do instead? First of all, don't disagree just to disagree, because that's lame. But on the other hand, don't agree just to avoid conflict. Instead, start light negotiations by comparing what you both want to do and take it from there. You may be surprised to find out that more often than not, girls will value your opinions, appreciate your resolve, and most importantly, won't look at you as the nice guy. Wondering what else are some huge turnoffs for women? We did a whole video on that one, and you can see it here. Number 6. Bro down. Now, if you don't have any friends who are girls, this one may not be a problem. But if you do have a lot of female friends and you find yourself spending a lot of time with girls, not only is that a huge sign that you're up to your eyeballs in the friend zone, but also that you're probably playing a losing card if your intention is to get girls. So here's what to do. If you want to show girls you're not just a nice guy, spend some time with your boys. It may not sound like much, but it will actually do a lot to change how girls perceive you and how you see girls, which might make all the difference. Hey guys, if you watch Mantelligence every week, you know we've got something good for you at the end of this video. Not only do we have 5 more tips to bringing out your inner alpha and being less of a nice guy, but we're also showing you the one thing guys do to mess that up quick. So sit tight, because we've got some good stuff coming up. Number 5. Forget the score. One glaring flaw that seems built into just about every typical nice guy out there is the tendency to keep score of the nice things he does for the girl he likes. Where more confident alpha types don't worry much about who did what and when, nice guys can't help but keep track of their good deeds and try to leverage them later for attention. It's sad because it really doesn't have to be that way. But in the minds of nice guys, they're doing girls a favor by being nice. And in exchange for their good behavior, they expect favors in return. The only problem is, all it really does is set themselves up for an endless loop of kindness favors that ultimately don't get them anywhere. So, what can you do instead? Our advice is simple. Be nice just to be nice. And if a girl is also nice to you, just appreciate it and move on. Number 4, reset. Part of the reason why nice guys stand by their niceness so firmly is that they're actually committed to a failing strategy that they're not quite ready to walk away from. At least, not while anybody's watching. So if you think you might be a nice guy who needs a change, do this. Instead of banging your head against the wall and waiting for your niceness to pay off, just try leaving for a while. The reason why this might be your best bet is simple. Girls will notice if you randomly adjust your behavior and try to be less nice. But if it happens while you're gone, not only will you have time to actually change, they'll be excited to see you come back a new man that they can see themselves with. A classic case of simple but effective. Number 3, handle your own. If there's one thing so-called alpha types have that nice guys do not, it's true, real independence. And by the way, when we say alphas, we're not talking about the basic chest-beating tough guys. Those dudes are just as guilty of letting others shape who they are as nice guys. What we're talking about are the kinds of guys who are self-sufficient, can handle their own, and don't depend on being nice to get what they want. Basically, these are the types of guys that nice guys and wannabe alpha types wish they were, and the kind of guy girls immediately go for. So if you want to be less nice and more alpha, you've got to show you can take care of yourself first. Number 2, set the schedule. Nice guys all have this in common. They spend all of their time on the schedule of the girl they like. No matter what they've got going on, they feel like their time comes second. The reason for this is because they think that if they're not always there with a girl doing what she's doing, they'll miss their chance. And the reason this happens is they're forgetting one hugely important detail. Girls don't want guys just because they're convenient. And being nearer doesn't actually get them any closer. See the difference? And the worst part about it is that if they just use that time on themselves, it's virtually guaranteed they'd be more attractive to the girl they want. Number 1, no FOMO. Fear of missing out. Alphas don't have it, but it's a feeling that lies at the heart of every nice guy. The main reason why they justify their behavior to themselves. They think, if I'm just there when she really needs me, she'll finally want me. And while that's a nice thought, not only are the chances of that happening extremely unlikely, but they're also drastically overestimating the impact simply being nice would have. Why? Because being nice is literally what a girl's friends are for. Okay, so what should be done instead? First, don't plan on capitalizing on her needing a friend to get a foot in the door. And after that, find another plan, move forward with yourself, and let her make the call if she really needs help. Hey guys, remember when we compared nice guys and those alpha bros when we talked about being self-sufficient a few minutes ago? Well, both groups are guys at opposite ends of the spectrum with the same problem: overcompensation. Most nice guys eventually figure out they have a problem. And when the day finally comes for nice guys to declare their independence, what usually ends up happening is they overshoot and abruptly become jerks to everyone. As you might guess, that typically doesn't work any better than being overly nice. So, what can be done? If you want to be more than a nice guy, do what we talked about today. And just remember that real change takes time. Guys, use these tips and stop being Mr. Nice Guy, okay? And while you're here, why not check out these other videos? The one on top has been hand-selected just for you.